Family separation following deportation is an issue that drastically changes the lives of numerous families each year, but is seldom spoken about in mainstream media. Latin American immigrants have been disproportionately affected by deportations. In 2012, of the over 400,000 immigrants deported, 90% were Latin American, and virtually all of them were men. A statistic from 2010 to 2012 reported that approximately 90,000 parents were deported. This constant threat of deportation and the process of deportation itself has lasting consequences on the deported individual, the family, and specifically the children. Impacts on the deported individual. The mere threat of deportation can have lasting consequences to an immigrant's mental health. When threatened with deportation by an employer, immigrants are 7.5 times more likely to develop a mental illness. If an immigrant is arrested and detained, they are 1.5 times more likely to report force during their arrest when compared to citizens. Immigrants also have higher levels of psychological distress while detained, which are made worse by inadequate mental health services. After being deported to their native country, males show higher rates of drug use when compared to the general population, and women are at an increased risk for physical and sexual assault as well as prostitution. Impacts on the family. Immigrant families live in constant fear of deportation, which can result in a lower quality of life. These families are less likely to go to the doctor and are often faced with economic hardships, which can cause frequent moves and overcrowded houses. Adults fearing deportation are more likely to experience employment difficulties as well as physical and psychological issues. After deportation, the family members left behind often have feelings of abandonment and encounter economic difficulties resulting from the loss of income. Impacts on the children. Of all those affected, the greatest impacts are on the children. When living with an undocumented status, families are faced with many stressors that may lead to increased risk for cognitive development or delay in children from 24 to 36 months old. Children with an undocumented parent also complete 1.18 fewer years of education. Parental detainment is a traumatic event. However, when the child is present for the arrest of their parent, this trauma may be up to 3 times greater when compared to that of children who were not present. This trauma can lead to higher levels of psychological distress in children, specifically PTSD. Children with PTSD symptoms show increased rates of anxiety and depression. These children are 2.5 times more likely to experience mental health problems and are 3 to 4 times more likely to engage in delinquent behavior. As you can see, deportations have an extreme impact on all those involved. With large numbers of family separations every year, we need to pay more attention to all those affected because it has serious negative consequences.